lyrics were just so powerful. And we sat down this morning. I gotta go get my mandolin, but we sat down this morning and just started forming it into a song together. And she was so, like, the lyrics, of course, are this honest, beautiful thing. Oh man, thank you. And then I get to sit in the chair and have it handed to me. Thank you. But also the composing the music. Kat was very kind to me to let me like look around for something, and then also to tell me, you know what, that's cool, but that's not quite it. And then we talked about it some more, and we found it something together, and it really is cool. So, and I gotta review it real quick just to make sure, because I mean there's a lot happening today, and I'm not kidding. It's an incredible experience to be part of like these 10 songs, and then have the energy, the synapses firing, and the adrenaline, and then you also have to. That's one of the things about music, and I met Margaret Atwood one time in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. She was a writer in residence at the University of Alabama in the mid-'80s. And she started, you can imagine the inspiration it had on The Handmaid's Tale. And she started it there. But I used to go to the Chucker and play, and then she would be there with her students drinking draft beer out of plastic cups. And she said, do you know how lucky you are? Went up and played a song at this benefit, and we had this band we had made up that day, and her curly hair and her Canadian dry sense of humor, and she goes, did you write that song? I said, yeah. She goes, it's pretty good. And then she said, when I write, I have to teach, first of all, to make a living so I can write, because she hadn't written a big hit book yet. And she said, I just like hole up and then teach and hole up for years, and then I finally get a book out, and then I've got to go on book tour and try to be sociable when I've learned only to be sociable in the classroom or drink beer with my students, and hole up and write a freaking novel. Right. And she said, you get to write a song this afternoon and sing it, and we're out here clapping and holding our beer cups in the air. I never forgot that, because then later I was like, was that Margaret Atwood? And they were like, yes. Pretty good. Okay. All right. Bear with me. So, Kat said, my vision is banjos, mandolins, and your
fiddles. My aunt, yeah. My Aunt Blanche.
Aunt Blanche Coldiron, one of the great banjo players of Kentucky. And that's saying something. We're not talking about banjo players from Connecticut or Indonesia. With all due respect, we're talking about Kentucky. And I'm going to watch the whole documentary about her. There's a documentary, and she is incredible. I mean, she was a teacher of 5 different styles, and people wanted to learn bluegrass, of course, but we really dug into the old-time style and tuning. So we were thinking, I wish I had a banjo, but I didn't want to have to lug banjo and a mandolin and a guitar up the hill every day. I'm just lazy. But we choose to stand in judgment. When we choose to stand in judgment to appease our gods on high, we take away what's human, turn it into lies. Truth is on the outside, it's all most people see. Is the judge and jury all we want to be? Assumption is a judgment by another name. Please don't fill my ears with all your lies and shame. I'll walk beside the broken while you sit on your throne. In the end, we all stand alone. Poured my tears into the river, saw my heart go floating by. I don't cry for another, but for this world that's bad, our greatest sin in our cold blind eyes. Raise our swords against our brothers, whose skin don't look like ours? Could we meet their mothers and look them in the eyes? Can we find forgiveness when we turn a cold blind eye to the life of a young shepherd, beaten, burned, and left to die? Poured my tears into the river, saw my heart go floating by. I don't cry for another, but for this world that's bad, our greatest gifts and our cold blind eyes. Our kindness to a stranger is never thrown away. They might just be the angel that saves your life one day. I ask you to remember, when you turn away, you can't see the halos in the darkness of the day. I poured my tears into the river, saw my heart go floating by. I don't cry for another, but for this world that's mad, our greatest sins and our cold blind eyes. Poured my tears into the river, saw my heart go floating by. I don't cry for another, but for this world that's mad, our greatest sins